There's a cross right there. So you're probably wondering what we're doing. Well, you probably looked at the thumbnail and you probably know what we're doing. We head down there. Hooked into a twig. Sound like a bird fluttering off. That's the grave site. This tree is coming down over the winter. Should come down and clear this out. So this is where the gentleman was buried. Right here. This was his resting place. Right in the middle of the woods. Can't really ask for a better resting place, can you? If you can see on the June bugs are coming out. Ah, get out of here. You can see the number welded onto it. It is 1840. This is it. This was his final resting place, right here. This man was known as the Peddler. This is a historic murder that happened here in New Brunswick in Fredericton Junction. Rest in peace, big man. So now I'm going to take you guys back out of the woods and on the main trail that used to be a main road years and years ago. And I'll read you guys the story behind the man more commonly known as the Peddler. This pretty little moth. I don't know if you can see the colors on it better. Let me focus the headlamp. No, it washes it out. Here we go. It's like purple. Purple and yellow. Oh wow, look how fuzzy it is. And very purpley. He's oh, he's dying. Oh, there's another one. Look at that thing. Come here. This one's a lot more lively. Oh, God. This is the site the murder happened. What a specimen. Dude's huge. Now, I'm just going to stand up here for a second and just to hug him, just to show you guys. I'm 230 pounds. I'm not, I mean, I'm short, but I'm not small. He's a big man. Supposedly the inaccurate description of how big this guy was and approximately his attackers. So there's a guy here who looks like he's holding a sandwich. I think at some point it was a knife and it just fell off. There's a guy here with a knife, and there's a guy here shown holding a gun. And this monster of a man was the peddler. And this is his story.
The murder of the peddler took place around 1885 at this very location. The peddler was a cattle buyer from St. Andrews or St. Stephen's. In the fall, he would travel to St. Stephen's Road and buy cattle from local farmers. He would herd them to foot all the way to Fredericton Junction railway station, where he would sell them and have them transported to major city. The peddler had a great stock and received a considerable amount of cash for his efforts. He put all of his money in his knapsack and was ready to start for home. As he passed the Beehive Hotel, located in the center of the junction, he thought he would treat himself to a fine meal. The meal was fine, and being tired, he decided to stay overnight. He got into a card game with 3 strangers. It was not long before liquor had loosened his tongue, and he bragged of big money he had just made. The 3 strangers saw him as an easy target, not sure why, he's a monster, and plotted to rob him. The next day, on Diamond Square Road, right where we're standing, they viciously murdered him and stole his money. The body was not found for a week, and the criminals were long gone after 3 years. A mysterious change of fate occurred. A man in Montreal was being sentenced and hanged for murder. At the hanging, the priest gave the criminal his final rites and said a prayer. The priest asked the man if he wished to clear his conscience of any other crimes he had committed before he went to meet his maker. It was at this time the criminal confessed to murdering a peddler just outside Fredericton Junction, New Brunswick. He described the murder in great detail, stating they only wanted to tie him up and rob him. However, the peddler was very strong and put up a tremendous fight. It took all 3 to bring him to the ground, and still they could not get the knapsack off him. He said they had no chance but to stab him to death. The murderer stated the peddler fought hard until he finally bled out. He then went to the gallows without revealing the names of his accomplices. This information was passed on to the sheriff in Fredericton Junction. The local community had become very suspicious of any strangers that passed through. Doors were locked, and a great fear had taken over the village. The news that the murderer had finally been caught and hung eased tension in every household. The community has remained faithful in maintaining the unnamed peddler's grave and memory, and is now part of our history.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I guess that's it for this video for the most part. However, I'm going to head out that way. I know there's a few areas where there's some deer. Maybe we'll see some deer late at night. Man, look at the bugs because I got the light on me, look. The moths and everything, all of them. Hey girl, what you doing? Well, just ignore me then.